Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. Well, I was reading this news article right here from newswars.com talking about how California is just one massive skid row. You've got so many homeless people, and in fact, the homeless population has greatly risen in California just in 2017. Now, this is crazy, guys. California is essentially reaping what they sow. Okay, and why am I saying this? Well, let's take the massive Skirball blaze, for example, where 400 acres of California was freaking charred. It was burned, set ablaze, gone. It is ashes and dust now. And we're talking tons of homes in Bel Air. We're talking rich celebrities' homes went up in flames in California. And apparently, check this out, apparently they are blaming the fire on a homeless encampment in California. So there was a homeless encampment near Bel Air that started the fire. Why is this huge? Well, California has been touting that they're going to be this big sanctuary city, bring all the illegals, all the refugees here. And meanwhile, the illegals are homeless on the streets, living in tents, setting fires with their campfires. And now all these virtue signaling celebrities that want to talk about bringing in people and immigrants for sanctuary cities, but none of them will essentially put them up in their mansions with 20, 30 rooms. And now you have their karma, The Skirball Blaze is a prime example of their karma. And just to show you guys, how bad this is, we're talking, okay, even The Hill, which is a known leftist news publication, even The Hill is acknowledging, and this came out this month, okay, this article here at The Hill. And what are they saying here? Let's read the title. Oh, sanctuary city policies are ruining California. Here's why I left. So let me get this straight. Liberals want to vote Democrat, vote for progressive ideologies, because it's really not liberal. If you think about it, it's progressive ideologies. So they want to vote progressive and Democrat, ruin their blue states. Why are you so blue, California? Is it because you're a Democrat? And then they leave those states, go to red states, go to Texas and other booming red states that have great business tax policies. They make it easy for businesses to exist. They don't have a bunch of immigrants and sanctuary cities here ruining, setting fires. And then you even have leftist liberals now fleeing California. And where do you think they're going? Well, for starters, Austin. I know a bunch of them have left Austin, but here's the thing. Look, I'm not hating on Californians. I was born and raised in California. I am a Californian in essence. However, the difference between me and these other liberals that left California is that before I even left California, I changed my mind. I became Republican because I realized how much that sucked. And I wanted nothing more than to get the heck out of there. And so I packed up my bags, I left, I went to Colorado originally, and I started voting Republican in Colorado because I realized the value of those policies. Problem is, you're going to have a bunch of liberals now leaving, coming to Austin, Texas, coming to all these red states, and they're going to be voting liberal most likely. But at least The Hill, whoever wrote this, let's see who the author is, by Jen Kearns, an opinion contributor, at least she realized that this, in fact, is a bad idea. She says, while liberals often suggest that the illegal immigrant population is relatively low and therefore no threat to public safety, federal crime statistics show that a heavy percentage of inmates, criminal offenders, and murderers are illegal immigrants. Wow. What do you know? A liberal finally coming to the realization that there's a problem here with these liberal ideologies. Another thing here, she points out that the illegal immigrant population is only 3.5% of the American, I guess you could say American population. They're not technically Americans. And they account for nearly 22 to 30% of all murderers in the nation. Okay, so when President Trump was saying that a lot of these immigrants are murderers, rapists, he's not talking about, a race of people. He's talking about a nation. He's talking about people coming, the illegal immigrants that are deciding to come here and commit crimes. Many of them gang cartel members. What are they coming here for? Well, a lot of times gang and cartel members come to the United States to commit murders. They're given assassination assignments to come and kill people. So that's part of their business, drug dealing, killing, etc. And yes, there are your decent immigrants who they wanted to just come here to have a better life. But a lot of them actually, the upstanding ones, will go through the proper process to become legal. And yeah, we need to fix our immigration system. That's a no-brainer there. But anyway, so meanwhile, there are more than 1,200 homeless veterans in California. And don't even get me started on our homeless veteran problem, because I did a whole big documentary. I'll show you guys it if you want to watch it. It is called Homeless Heroes, and this was back in 2013, I believe. I re-uploaded it here on my Millennial Millie channel on YouTube, but it's called Homeless Heroes, Veterans Living in Back Alley Squalor. And essentially, I talk with Robert Rosebrock, who he is a member of the VA, and he's done a ton of research, and he's been fighting this battle against the corrupt Democrat politicians in California that have essentially looted and stolen this deeded veterans' home land that was deeded to them, tons of acreage with buildings and housing in it that now just sits in dilapidation. And essentially the Democrats have hoard out their property to big corporations, that extra room for valet overflow from neighboring golf courses, Beverly Hills or Bel Air High School, soccer fields and stuff. Meanwhile, these veterans are all living around the outskirts of the gate, which they built a big gate to keep them out of this veterans' land, sleeping outside, sleeping on the streets of LA. We're not doing enough for our veterans here in our country, those who actually put their lives on the line for us, for our freedoms, for these liberal Democrat hoity-toity virtue signaling jerks that drive around in Mercedes in California while they're saying, ew, get this homeless guy off the street. He's making my neighborhood look bad. This is their neighborhood. This veterans' home land in smack dab in the middle of Beverly Hills, which is the most expensive, pristine land. This land was here before any of Hollywood, any of Beverly Hills, any of these rich celebrity snoods. This land was deeded to them following the Civil War, and they have looted it and locked them out of it. See the locks on the gates right here? They literally locked the veterans out of their own deeded property. A wealthy woman deeded this property to the veterans, and it was even passed with congressional legislation. This is their property, and they've locked them out. And so watch this documentary, Homeless Heroes, Veterans Living in Back Alley Squalor. It's on the Millennial Millie YouTube channel. But it's just another example of the karma that these wealthy Hollywood celebrity Californian elites are reaping. Because when you still have, honestly, 1,200,000 homeless, that's extremely low. There are a lot more than that. I don't know, the LA Times is really not reporting that number right, but they say that technically there's about 8,000 homeless veterans. It says right here. It says a previous version of this article said 8,000 veterans had been housed in the greater Los Angeles area since 2014. And and it includes another 11,000 in Los Angeles County. So yeah, I don't know why they're underreporting that figure, but there are actually a ton of homeless veterans in Los Angeles. And what's also interesting is they actually have seen a massive increase. It says right here, the 2017 Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority report revealed that the homeless population of Los Angeles County had jumped by 23% in just 1 year. So just in 2017, we've seen a massive increase, 23%. That's a big increase in 1 year of the homeless population in LA. Now, where do you think these people are coming from? Do you think it's because the economy is suffering so bad this year? I don't think so. I think our economy's actually been doing pretty well. That's not to say that California, because of their democratic policies, is doing very well. But overall, our economy has actually been going up. Jobs, everything has been on the rise. What makes the most sense is that the homeless population jump that is not typical for this area is actually attributed to illegal immigration and the fact that California is advertising itself as a sanctuary city. So it's very likely, and I'm just speculating here, that the Skirball blaze, okay, that torched a bunch of Bel Air, rich, hoity-toity, virtue-signaling celebrities' homes, their mansions, that this blaze was likely attributed to an illegal immigrant. And, you know, it says here that it was an illegal campfire, okay? It was essentially an encampment near the Los Angeles freeway that sparked the blaze and set it on fire. But this is what we're looking at. We're looking at they're reaping what they sow. In the same way Germany has, you know, with Angela Merkel and all of their liberal ideologies, Germany is now having all kinds of problems. Same with Paris. I mean, have you seen Paris? I really wanted to travel to Paris. I had never even been to Paris. And now I don't think I'll go until they clean up their act. Okay, let's see. This is a clip from They Live where it shows the homeless encampments. This is like a dystopic movie here. They Live. If you haven't seen They Live, it is seriously something that every truther should watch. Let's actually turn it up. So this is like a dystopic future movie, They Live, showing all these homeless camps all around. And that, I guess in this time period, they thought that that would just be so bizarre to see these homeless camps all around where you have really large homeless settlements, people just taking up camp, having a TV outside. But now in Los Angeles, that's what's going on there. They literally have everything going on. I spoke with one lady who was helping out the homeless, and that was actually in Kansas City, okay? But she said that this homeless guy actually had a full TV and cable somehow rigged up with wires and antennas. And this is what we're looking at. This is what's going on in our country right now. And meanwhile, you've got celebrities and liberals just want to talk about, let's bring in more illegal immigrants. Let's bring in more refugees. You know, what about our veterans? California, when you house and treat and help your veterans off of the street, then us conservatives will actually want to listen to what you're saying when you're talking about helping refugees, helping illegal immigrants. But when you guys are refusing to even help the veterans in your own communities off of the street, we don't want to hear anything about more illegal immigrants, more refugees that need to be taken care of until our veterans are taken care of first. So that's the way I see it, guys. And I just wanted to bring this to all of your guys' attention. One more time, I'm going to show you that Homeless Heroes, Veterans Living in Back Alley Squalor. It's a really good documentary. It's about 40 minutes long. It really kind of shows and gets into detail the, just the depth. And you can see this news article here at newswars.com. It's called Skid Row Footage Reveals California's Downfall. And it is some pretty shocking footage here, guys. It really is. Let me just show this. Look at this. People sleeping on the side of the road. Sleeping on the side of the road, just with tents. This is what happens when states turn blue. You have massive homeless problems. Because they don't have jobs. The jobs go overseas, they leave, they demand $15 an hour, minimum wage, so a bunch of businesses close down, and then you just don't have jobs anymore. And then when you don't have jobs, you don't have a home, you don't have a car, you become homeless. This is what we're seeing in California. California has reaped what it sows. Hopefully, they'll start to change their minds. Hopefully, people will start to wake up. And if you're living in California, wake up your neighbor. That's my challenge for you. Try to wake up your neighbors. Wake up as many people as you can, because we cannot continue with these liberal, lunatic ideologies. This is Millie Weaver, signing off for Infowars.com.